coming over for a 3-man defense on the A side as of now. Stationed up around middle. Alu here scouting. The smokes do come in. That's probably going to chime in and attack. The A side flashes as well. Alu falling back, but still holding position. Misses a couple shots. Is going to retreat behind arches. And they're actually going to chase him rather than going through their own smoke. But Alu with the first headshot onto Nitro. Alicia is there trying to contest. And then across on the other side, jumping to the pit. HS with another headshot, on this time on a JDM. Twist does trade that back, but Alu, after taking care of Elige in arches, does good work of him. So, Liquid only finding one pick, not getting a bomb plant. Really successful hold by Optic. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, well, hey, okay, so great. Sorry, Flakes is here having a mic issue right now, so I'll get rid of all this. Yes, Team Liquid, they're forcing up. They didn't get a bomb plan, and so they're going to have to save a second time anyway after this, so they're going to invest into this, see if they can at least get some damage, or maybe a little cheeky round and really mess up Octave Gaming's economy. We'll see what happens. But posting around mid, nades from both sides aren't really connecting, aren't exactly finding anything. We see a couple of bodies here. Make their way. Elige actually able to make his way through apartments into Boiler. Not really spotting out that stack on either side of the A side, actually. And Magic Boy also rotating around. We do have Freiburg peeking out, dealing some damage on Banana, but he's going to fall back as well. Not want to commit too much to this, particularly because they know they have upgraded pistols and doesn't want to be close range when the fight does occur. Bomb being brought over to Banana. Liquid, yeah, they haven't really been able to find anything. Optic haven't given too much for them to grab. Optic, I like the pressure they put down on Banana when they had the 4-man hold on A, just for some early information, not allowing Liquid to take full control of Banana until there are multiple bodies on B, which there are right now, and now the smokes and flashes, or at least smoke as of now. I'm assuming flashes afterwards are going to come in, but Freiburg on the boost, taking a quick head off of Nitro, trying to quickly enter back, and Stanislaw does get one, but Alu on the other side of the smoke. There's another one. Ooh, Twist does grab a second for Liquid, but now it's just Twist left in a 1-on-3. He does have a FAMAS, but that incendiary grenade is going to do good work, push him out of new box. Slash a little bit, and he hears his footsteps coming up, particularly from HS, but he's running out of time. He has to get the bomb plant, so he has to go for the fight. That's going to be HS taking off his head. Once again, HS, all the headshots. Named aptly.
Yeah, working out very well, of course. Optic 2-0 now as Liquid unable to stunt them in the pistol, and then not working out, of course, in the buy-up right after that. Does put them, of course, in a bit of a sour spot now in round number 3, as they are just going to be on the Glocks. Very likely that's going to be about it. I mean, sure, we see 2 P250s, $600 spent, Stanislaw and Twist respectively, but that is scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes down to weaponry here. This should be an easy one for Optic. That flag should be waving in Europe pretty damn strong right now. This basically is 3-0.
JDM almost taken out, dropped down to 7. Cheeky little headshot from the window in apartments. Yeah, Liquid taking it slow. They're really hoping that Optic give them something, but once again, Optic being real conservative. Except for Magisport here, very aggressive. Does have some backup from Freiburg, watching the entrance of the smoke, but they don't check this corner. Magisk could do a spread. Now, the one downside is that they do, if Liquid do drop them, particularly if they drop them before they lose too many people, that is going to be a rifle for them to pick up. But Freiburg's doing a very nice job baiting them in, and they just get a full-on spray down. Freiburg and Magisport, though, are both dropped, and that is a FAMAS picked up as well as a UMP up the way. But there already is a rotating from Mixwell. Double spray down at the end to clean up the rest of Liquid. Optic
Bit close though, has to be said.
What does?
Really shouldn't be coming down to that closer around towards the end of it. Thankfully they got mowed down as they got close to the site, but I mean some of the initial picks that were being forced in Banana are things a little bit hectic. Just don't really want to be seeing that. It's a little bit of caution, of course, from the pistols of Liquid. But now they're on the rifles. Let's see if they can one-up a bit of damage and turn that into a round on their side, as they want their first. Hungry for it. On their T side, they go spamming for a pick. Stanislaw attacking through the wall, looking to see if he can find himself a bit of early damage, but Mixwell having none of it, standing proud. Magic smoke at the bottom of his hand. Should pretty much be able to take bottom Banana control. That'll be fairly passive work from Alu. Don't think he'll push too far up here, just knowing that the aggression from Nitro is possible, which we are going to see. They jump right on through. Much like you sneeze. Alec, he blinks.
Yeah, and that's the op taken out. You have still 2 M4s, the MP9 and Hamas aren't going to do too much, and the terrorists are already rotating on the B side. Magic Boy rotating over, and a very nice flash is going to allow him to peek out to get a full spray down. I think he flashed all 5 members, but he's only able to get 1 kill off of it. Is there smoke blocking the aggression from Freiburg as well, and Liquid aren't able to make it onto the site. JDM with a picked up op. He's going to get another kill on Magic Boy. Freiburg answers back before JDM gets a second. And now it's a 3-on-2 bomb planted advantage for Liquid, and it's a slow rotate as well as JDM, nope, jumped over. And Mixel lining up. Flash trying to get better entering, but again, this MP9 and Famas really has not that much of a chance against the double AK op set up on Liquid.
JDM showing up to play, gets himself a 3rd kill. He takes down HS, leaving Mixwell last man standing. And this is no Iron Man challenge. He wants to get out of there alive at this point. But it sucks. Just that 1 rifle carried over for Optic, thankfully. They have a little bit of money to spend. Most importantly, Mixwell is the bank of the team. He has $6,300 to spend, and that can all come in towards drops in this round. That's 2 M4s, basically. Got HS as well, around 6k, so those 2 single-handedly bankroll an entire buy for Optic, which is crucial, as they are playing for that reset. Liquid, meanwhile, the AWP, the rifles be bought up. I mean, that was their first. It was all pretty much put into place by JDM, who got that opening double kill.
Well, also, Alu missing the shot with that op. You were telling that you don't think he was going to go a little too much farther, but even at the distance that he had gone was a little bit of overextension. You kind of see him realize that as he ran away right when Liquid advanced on him, and then missing that shot onto Nitro was really the opening thing that Liquid needed to get into that round. And they did. Crossfire coming from apartments. Unleash and Twist, the 2 stars of the team, notably get 2 immediate kills. So this round, right off the bat, before we even hit a minute 30, is looking to be in Liquid's favor. A rotate from B, already on A, but Liquid haven't committed to that site yet.
Frag grenade going to be thrown through Alu. Being very cautious about mid, but problem for Optic is the reason why they're being so cautious in general is they have no information at all on what Liquid are going to be doing. They have one thing going for them, and that's the fact they're stacking towards A, which means that the minute that bomb goes down B, they're just going to save. So that's basically the positive in their round. But I mean, you have to look at this from Liquid's perspective. They get handed the site. They get handed their 2nd round. This is where they try and equalize things, and for Optic, that likely means they're going to be hunted down by a pack of hungry animals, because Liquid, they can afford to hunt.
Yeah, especially with the bomb plan, especially now that they're sure that they have the round in their favor. I would, I'd say don't hunt too much. Your money isn't that great, and it would be a little bit of a, not a gamble, but a little bit kind of throwing stuff away if you do throw away too many rifles. And yeah, it looks like Liquid, they're going to post out a little bit. You do see Stanislaw going forward ahead, but they're not throwing every single body at Optic because they don't want to ruin their economy, and they know that they are 1 round, at the moment right now, they're 1 round away from a save of themselves.
Thing is, because they don't hunt, because they're so not scared, I definitely see the point about Liquid wanting to build up some money of their own. But at the end of the day, every single player is going to have 3.8, 5,900, 4,800. Every single player on Liquid can replace weapons if need be, and I understand they want to build up some money, but they've allowed Optic to go into this round with a fighting chance now because they kept the majority of those rifles. They kept the AWP. And so this is now, for Optic, that 3 for 3 is going to be a much harder task for Liquid to take.
Yeah, but it is a gamble nonetheless. You have to, it's just a decision of, do we want the assured 3 tie, or do we want to take, a little safer approach, and even though we may lose this round, or at least take a lot more casualties in it, it gives us a better chance of fighting later on. It's just, nonetheless, they come out mid, and Nitro stands off first 2 kills. Alu ends back with an op shot, gets a second to use it up, but Liege takes him down, and Twist now coming out of the apartments is going to drop Magic for as well. Makes it just Freiburg. So a couple of picks on the side of Optic, but now Freiburg with the rifle is still left in a 1-on-3 clutch situation. Sneaking his way around the side of that smoke. Has a little hole. And grabs Twist, but JDM peeks into that tap fire and is going to drop Freiburg. And they do survive with 2 Liquid, but because they didn't throw too many bodies away, they're able to look at their money right now. Not to try and start an argument with you. I just mean there are 2 sides to every decision.
Optic with the full buy, utility all put into place. The famous on Magic Boy, but at the end of the day, it still is pretty solid buy for them. Have to be careful about what their game plan is going to be. Expecting some banana control, just judging by the setup that Magisk is getting himself into. He's tucked in towards Sandbag. The initial smoke does come through. Stanislaw throwing the molly just to try and push them back almost. There's JDM trying to curve himself a pick down mid, but the flexibility on Liquid right now is what is key.
It's a nice nade to take Stan down to 40, and that is going to push them back and well, allow banana control to be reclaimed by Optic. They're still being a little conservative, even if they are at the top of it. The smoke is also forcing them to fall back. They don't want to peek it too heavily. And they also in position. No, I believe it's them actually boosting a member up. That is Magic's board being boosted up on top of Flowers. But it is going to be a push once again. Oh, why'd I go back there? Onto a straight up mid. But Optic, they have 3 members. They're quite far back. This is an interesting conservative hold. Liquid have gotten a lot of early picks from, I guess, more forward positioning members of Optic, and they're not going to allow those picks to be available quite so soon this round.
Pressure. All coming to the shoulders of Alu right now. Elige, flash comes through. Alu does find one, but a quick trade from Elige is what sets out Liquid in the round. Repeat from Mixwell looking likely as they're playing around almost each other. The smoke beginning to fade. Elige tries to wander on through, and that's where Mixwell gets his chance. JDM up on the elevated angle, bearing down on the site, staring through library. And then taking the push itself. Mixwell being that anchor you need. As JDM slowly but surely facing in, but repeat after repeat, Mixwell pulls through. That's 2 kills now, going for a third twist. Getting hungry, aggressive almost. But Magic's boy at this point is in the perfect position to trade.
And even
Optic.
Yeah, 4-3. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that. Yeah, but nonetheless, Freiburg was also coming from the flank up a mid, so Liquid being a little slow with their take, as well as Mixwell holding down the center of that site, kept Optic in the lead up 4-3 and combined. But Liquid also by an op still on both teams. No early peaks from Optic. We know Alu to be a little more of the conservative, just put him far back as a third star opper, not so much the Kenny-S simple I'm gonna peek you straight out mid and take out half your team with one shot sort of opper. You do have to wonder if this gives too much map control to Liquid. But ooh, double stack coming through, stacked by both teams, and it's gonna be Stanislaw dropped down to Stixie, spotted just barely off the top of that smoke.
Most importantly, though, it is just the control that Optic have picked up.
Yeah.
The fact that you're able to put Magic in this position means that Liquid cannot work anything towards Banana without really putting in some effort to take it back. Launching all the forces towards the tip of mid. HS facing out. Mixwell getting on for his troubles. Stanislaw getting one as he holds the flank, but one kill is not going to be enough to change the outcome of this round. They need more. Mixwell being sprayed on down by Stanislaw, who secures 2 kills by just rapidly pushing up short. Catching Mixwell is reloading, and his teammate is hung out to dry. That forces a 2 for 2.
Yeah.
The entirety of Banana has been completely left wide open. Liquid have a choice to make, and one that they will make very easy for themselves. They wander up towards the B site. All the utility they have does get used to help them clear, but this is all but simple for them. Get the plant through. Optic can't do anything just yet. They have to play it slow and together.
Another resmoke comes out from Liquid. This essentially forces both members of Optic here through church, through construction, whatever new or old name you want to call it, but JDM is holding that angle, or at least kind of half, sort of. Stanislaw holding banana. JDM misses a shot. Don't know how many people he saw in that, because I missed it as well. But he still has a lineup on the bomb itself. Optic gonna have to go fast, and now it's Stanislaw trades it out 1 for 1. And Freiburg, he's gonna have to play the bomb, but Stan is still here in the corner. It's perfect angle, but he's holding it. Stan, you gotta get the... Just in the nick of time. Perfect timing for Stan to stop the defuse from coming through. And is going to be tied up once again, 4-4. Money on both sides, though. It's not really looking great. Optic Gaming are definitely have to go into save on this one, but Liquid, 2 UMPs, and all but Elige are down below $1,000. So if they take too many casualties here, even though Optic Gaming, all they have are upgraded pistols and a couple sets of armor, could still spell doom for them as we enter, well, I guess the middle section of this first half.
I think at the end of the day, that no matter what weaponry Liquid have in play, Optic are always going to be looking just to try and maximize their damage. These pistols have one objective, and that is to seep blood out on the Liquid lineup. Resmoke does come in towards Banana, but Stanislaw able to capitalize on that. as he walks in for the headshot. Money being made, of course. The kill does fall into the arms of the UMP. Repeak over repeak in towards Apps. Eventually falling back, however. As HS has second thoughts and decides, you know what? I don't want to be dealing with Nitro right now.
Took a couple of shots. Didn't go his way, and now he falls back. And that does give Liquid more control of Apps. Pixel just barely dodging some damage from twists. As he pops in some shots through that wall. And then Liquid still sneaking up mid onto A. The bomb. I like how Liquid consistently leave the bomb back at T-spawn. And they're now bringing it up. Oh no, is it being brought over towards B? Looks like they found out some information that B may be clear. Nitro here on their lurk to stop when he rotates in through mid. Back up from Elige as well, but Stanislaw on the forefront. UMP going up banana. Seeing that is clear because all the action is happening over on A. Alu finds one with Eagle traded out by Elige. But now Elige coming in from the side, and he just only has 2 saving CTs to deal with as the bomb does get planted on the B site. Mixwell trying to come up from banana. With just a P250 and armor. Really not much for him to grab this time around.
Yeah, he'll just sit towards the bot banana at this point, wait and see if anyone does exit, and from there, strike for a chance at a rifle. Almost like signing up for the lottery. You know the odds are pretty damn slim, but maybe one time out of a million you strike gold, and that can lead to something, but just as expected, he'll lose his life as Twist does push on down. Liquid starting to push up in this game if they get themselves 2 back-to-back. Really breaking the economy of Optic fairly early on. I mean, for that you have to look back towards the 7th round. Liquid did a real good job of breaking them after a 3-round stint, but for Optic, their buy wasn't a mess. It was just backed by a pistol. We want to see what they can do, you know, likely in this 11th round, as this is going to be just 5 USPs charging mid into JDM, who JDM is performing on the up and up right now. Stanislaw farming him with the UMP as well.
Ooh.
Magisk and Alu, though, shouldn't be able to get those picks, and subtle mistakes from Liquid. I don't know if Optic are going to be able to capitalize on them anytime soon, as Magisk is just 1 man up against 3.
Yeah, not in a very good position to save either, because he's caught between multiple terrorist members. Around that corner, doesn't check the corner. That's Twist dropping him. So no AK save for Optic. They did get a couple of picks, and that is going to hurt the economy of Liquid a little bit. But Optic's economy is not much better. They're able to afford an op, but no kit, very few helmets, a little light on nades, particularly on Freiburg, though we can afford a couple more if we really wanted to go for it. Ah, yeah, there we go. Freiburg is going for the kit. So they have at least 1 they can rely on.
Oh, that's a molly you don't want to miss. Twist trying to deny that early Apps aggression from the boiler side. That does throw his teammate instead. Not quite the end of the world, though, as thankfully Optic didn't go for it. Mixwell facing off the corner, a bit of damage being applied by Twist. Not going to re-peek it as well, thankfully, so a lifeline to play with.
Control by Liquid. They gotta find something else to really enter in on the site, though. They can't just all climb out of balcony. Looks like they're all gonna stream out through mid, though. They have help from smokes. They're gonna even nade that corner just in case there's someone hiding in it. But mid isn't much if they can't get around these 2 corners. HS and Mixwell holding truck side. Mixwell on the site itself. Doesn't get spotted out. Nitro does spot him out. Doesn't deal any extra damage. That's going to be a counter molly by Optic. As they all come running through. Stanislaw finds 1. HS trades it back. Able to get inside pit as well. Finds another Alu and HS all chiming in with kills of their own. And it's just JDM and Elige.
Oh, that's a nice tag, but he's not able to do too much more with it. Peeks back on towards Alu. No, open up the 2 for 2. Magisk and Freiburg now thinking this one out. What's the play going to be? He's got 25 seconds. Barely anything to work with. 2 mollies, though, which are going to be crucial for the retake, I think. They are going to go out rather high. JDM just posting up on long corner, and the mollies doing nothing to dispose of him. And here it's an easy pick on towards Magisk. Freiburg, last man standing. Lee's just going to hold the headshot angle. JDM relocating to pin himself up on short, but now he knows exactly what's going on. The smoke does act as a bit of a shroud, giving Freiburg the 1v1. JDM's low, 6 HP. Freiburg with the movement to get up on top of the boxes, closing it out with a quick 5-second defuse. Optic A 1v2 clutch, they'll take it. They'll get themselves 6-5.
Yeah, he thought after matches got taken out at the start before the smoke even bloomed that Liquid would have had this, but Elige played around the box, but he still had the top of his head available, and after a couple of misses, Freiburg was able to take that. Well, we get their 5th round. Liquid still in the lead. Liquid still have enough to buy, and Optic, because their economy wasn't truly established, even after a win, they only survived with 1 player, and so we do still see 2 SMGs and no op for them. So arguably, this round is going to be harder than the round where they had just won. A lot of nades at the top, bringing Magic down to 7. Counter-nade not going to do much to answer back. More nades coming on through, trying to give Liquid continuous control of Banana, and they are going to maintain it as they push Freiburg and Magic's Boy back onto the site itself. A smoke is going to stop a potential rush onto the site, but Liquid are still looking for more map control, looking to find potentially more picks. But none perhaps coming their way. As we see more Elige dropping off of apartments, going back towards mid. Nope, now he's returning, so never mind.
There's so much time for Liquid, though. They aren't in a rush at all to do anything here. They're just playing to see what the CT side composition is. Still trying to get a read, by the way, of their kind of their whole setup as well. And I think that's been made really somewhat difficult. Optic have been pretty good at changing things up. The only position they've not changed here is the angle that Mixwell's on, but I don't think you expect that. I think if you're Liquid right now, that's where you get caught off guard, if anything. Of course, we are seeing some slow but sure utility usage over on towards that B site. Smoke and Flash going on over. 3 players now rotated on over, bear in mind, so a lot of manpower dedicated to this fake play from Liquid. The real play is going to be that A site, guaranteed, of course, by the position of Nitro. The bomber is back, working up short. Mixwell and HS going to be under a lot of pressure. Stanislaw creeping out of apps. The push comes in. Nitro face first on the site. HS going for 2, but only able to find 1. Stanislaw starting to rip into them. Elige doing a pretty good job of securing the trade. Meaning ultimately we stand at a 3v3. Both teams butting heads, but no time. Ooh. Close. Very, very close. Freiburg pulls library, peeks out, gets a dink on JDM, but not quite enough for the kill. Just 5 HP. Nay gonna go out. Oh, just does 1 damage, 1 single point of damage. But he is still standing. A good flash as well, buying time. Second, much better. Elige peeking off the back of that, opening up for the double. Make that even a chance for the third, but Freiburg has something to say. Sprays rapidly, but Stanislaw snapping the neck with a very, very messy headshot.
Yeah, saves the Optic end as well. They almost lost that just based off of the time. It took them just a little bit too long, longer than they expected to actually clear the site. But this is Liquid continuing to advance their advantage, and Optic back onto another save. I don't expect this one to necessarily be a double, but their money is still not that great. They had 1 victory, and then their round loss bonus was completely reset after that, which is one reason why we see 5 USPs, just vanilla, just basic. Liquid really throwing all the pressure that they have. Optic, once again, as you said, making it a little difficult to figure out what they have, but Liquid should basically be assuming that it's going to be pretty light buy. At this point, Optic should just be going for a couple of picks, dealing some damage. There's virtually no way that they're going to win this round outright.
I mean, right now the game plan is we're just going to chill on B. We're going to hope that maybe Freiburg can get himself a double dink or 2, fall back towards oranges. Maybe we can swing out from coffins or even back of church, but it's all a whole bunch of what ifs, a whole bunch of chances for Optic that they shouldn't really be able to take. I think, again, we have to look forward towards that buy. And I think talking about the buy from Optic, it's not been bad. We've seen some good rounds, but we've seen a lot of clutches from them too, and that reliance on clutches has led to them not being able to really stint the rounds together, as evident by the previous round, round 11 and round 12.
Yeah, you may be winning the rounds, but even if you're winning the rounds, if you lose too many guns while winning them, it's not the same as winning them with all 5 surviving. Ooh, Mixwell does get spotted out by Elige on the boost area. Elige gets second on HS, and that opens up the A site completely. Just Alu left. Is he going to be trying to go for some exits, or it looks like just going to save his $300 kill reward bonus? Really not much you can do exits or retake with a lone USP. So Team Liquid are fanning out, trying to find him. Any money they can grab for themselves, why not? And he's gonna be JDM. Well, it's not 300, it's only 100, so you know, at least it's something. At least it's something Optic can give a little sigh of relief on. But what they can't give a sigh of relief on is that Liquid have already reached 8. They have already won out the round, and in the current meta of Inferno, you don't necessarily expect the terrorists. Granted, this isn't like a double digit yet, but still, 8-7 is the best that Optic can hope for, which is below par for the CG side.
Genuinely a chance as well, depending on how Optic can play this one out. Of course, going for the full UMP buy, and Freiburg just wandering on in with his trusty MP7. It's a ballsy buy from Optic, really, because they could have just saved it out and played at 15, but no, they've committed to the SMGs and the full utility. See if it works out for them. Of course, Liquid all bonded up towards A, not a single piece of presence over on towards Banana. Now I've just got Stanislaw holding for that flank if they do get rather aggressive. Nitro, meanwhile, starting the show strong, takes off Alu, leaving him headless. A little bit more to be done as they try and work up long. Mattress Boy maybe given a chance, but the smoke is thrown. The timing not going to work out as JDM strikes him down with the AWP. UMP's on the site now, really in a bit of a predicament. Flash to be thrown to allow them to peek, but still Nitro rips them apart. A double kill to secure the site as Freiburg, last man standing, he'll be caught by Stanislaw, leaving Liquid on their 9th.
Yeah, and looking at the money on the side of Optic, pretty good chance for them to get their 10th as well, double digits. I don't know, maybe this is just a thing with me, but I feel like having 9 versus having 10 feels a lot worse than just that one round would otherwise decide. It's just that the fact that it's double digits is kind of a landmark. It's a checkpoint of sorts. And if Liquid do get up to that, put a lot of pressure on the Optic. Especially as a team who won the pistol.
Liquid being very, very withdrawn about their play. Optic, of course, just due to the real mismatch of weaponry they've got, kind of being forced into a lot of those fights. Because they have got one upside. Something Liquid can't do is the Optic, they can just wait, they can set a few traps, force Liquid to push into them. But even that hasn't really worked out. I mean, we could see Optic, for example, work down Banana once the smoke fades, but the odds are they won't do it because of the innate fear that JDM or Stanislaw is going to be lurking. I mean, much more Stanislaw than JDM, purely because Stan has been doing that all game long.
Counter nade does deal some damage finally to Liquid, but the health still heavily in Liquid's favor. All the pokes, all the peeks gone the way of Liquid. Still have yet to make their way onto an actual site. But as you said, Stanislaw on the lurk is more or less keeping 2 of these players here on B, and so it is going to be a 4-on-3 execution onto the A site. And Nitro able to make his way around Rap side. Smoke blocking his way, but just around the corner. No, as I say that, Stanislaw tries to come through, but Freiburg and HS both getting kills. Nitro does answer back with 1, but then HS in apps does get a 2nd. So man advantage for Optic, even if it, well, it's still man advantage, but look at the health on these players. Not much for them to really work with, and now it's tied up to a 2-on-2. Bomb plant does go down, Nitro gets 1, and it's just Magic's boy left. They almost had it, you have to think. But still, the superior firepower does come out on top. However, Magic can still clutch this. I don't mean to throw everything out the window just yet. He's got multiple angles to check, though. Does get an instant headshot to JDM. That does give his position away, however. And he's not checking pit where Nitro is.
Problem is, of course, even with the kit, that box is spammable. He'll be ripped into by Nitro, providing he plays his cards right. Magic's going to be holding it down. 2 seconds, 1 second left. He's actually got away with it. Nitro, why are you not spamming the box? Honestly, you'd expect that, but no. He tries to go for the peak, tries to swing nice and wide, and he plays right into the palms of Optic. They make a round that should be unwinnable. Somehow winnable. 9 HP. That's what he needs to win a 1v2 clutch. Incredibly well played by Magic. You have to give it to him. Just sticking it down, no nerves at all. Yeah. It does mean that things end up 9-6, which isn't terrible. I mean, you would expect the scoreline to be perhaps a little flipped or a little bit closer, but I mean, either way, 9-6, it's not bad.
No, it's not
bad
bad
by a long shot.
Yeah. Still, Optic are going to be wanting this early pistol round to really catch up at the very start. All the reverse contact is going to take the head off of JDM. Instant trade back from Nitro. but most of the terrorists are going to be up in apartments, rushing out with the smoke. Stanislaw already dropped down very low to 11. So multiple trades coming on through, and get me off of the dead body, thank you very much. Twist finds 2 before HS finds his head, and now it's tied up to a 2-on-2. Bomb plant about to go down before the rotate can finally come in from Liquid. But Nitro here, watching Pit, trying to find out some information as we see a Liege wrapping around the other corner. Question is, can HS pop out and spot a Liege? The flash does stop it. A Liege does find Friber before HS takes him out. And now it's just a one-on-one fight between Nitro and HS. And Nitro with the kit in the corner can just... Oh, nope. Can't quite stick it.
You can't hold it back that far. That's so awkward. Gets back into the corner again. This time HS is going to push it up. Should have time, but again, Nitro lets off. The nurse, whatever it may be, kicking on in. Now going for the nice. He's going to get shanked by HS. And Optic walk away laughing. The team who, again, we argued, almost expectedly should have had the flip score, and we thought Optic would be ahead, considering these 2 rosters, but the pistol certainly should help equalize things. Of course, Liquid, a struggling 1v1, that could have been a completely different round, but hey, it is what it is. Now they're going to invest anyway. Kevlar to back the CZs and the 5.7s. Optic, meanwhile, Galils, UMPs, and AKs all entering the fold. Utility among 3 of those players. Just going to be sitting far back, allowing Liquid to get aggressive. Allowing them to be at the forefront of the play, because if they are, then all they've got to do is knock them down with the AKs as and when they come through. Of course, a well-timed flash from Liquid could buy them an opportunity, but they only have 1 single flash on Nitro. Nah, that could change everything.
Or it could change absolutely nothing if it's missed. But yes, that was actually quite more negative than I meant to make it sound.
A bit brutal. I mean,
apologize.
If they actually play the flash right, then they could find themselves a kill or 2 to work with. I mean, you look at the position of Nitro. He's over on that B site, so, you know, they push up Banana, they start putting a lot of pressure. He throws 1 good pop flash. That could be the first contact player and the second contact player going along with him into the grave. Sure, the odds of them actually still closing out the round are pretty slim, but CZs and 5.7s have done madder things in the past. Counter-Strike is a game of sometimes really small factors, like looking at the positioning of smokes, looking at the positioning of flashes and these different things. So, yeah, it's a small factor, but it's something that, again, I feel is justified to point out. Of course, something else to watch is for HS. The fact he's holding Boiler, JDM nearly peeked into him, just an inch between the 2. But, thankfully, either spots him, and he'll fall back to the site. Meanwhile, of course, him and the rest of the team on that T side just going to wrap around. As Liquid 3 players towards B does leave an opportunity towards A and Twist. That is a definition of being caught with your pants down, buddy. You are literally standing there with nothing to do. JDM burning in the flames, finished off by the UMP. Money to be made. The plant will be secure, and Optic going to be feeling very comfortable about this round.
Able to find a hole through with the 3 men stationed up on B for Liquid. That is an entry up on Rap side, Arch side on A, and then when Liquid finally seemed aware of the possibility of it, that's when the hit happened, and of course superior firepower heavily putting Optic ahead of the game. A little bit of damage on HS and Alu, so potential for kills found, and Baseball especially is going to get popped out by a Liege from up above. But still, 1 frag isn't going to swing too much in the game, and it's definitely not going to find Liquid the round, as it's just the Liege left. Trying to save the armor especially. Looks like he is going to be able to do so, but that is Optic finding their 8th round nonetheless. And, judging by the economy, probably going to find their 9th, tying it all up.
Yeah, that's generally what happens, of course, when you win the pistol in the follow-up round as well. You get that kind of 3rd bonus almost for free, as it just leaves your opposition pretty much weak at the knees, and that's kind of the Liquid you see right now. They have nothing really worth spending for. They're just going to sit back and allow for a little bit more in that 19th round. That's going to be the round to watch. So for this 18th, it should really be a bit of a bloodbath, if I'm honest. Optic should be able to steamroll on towards a site of their choice, find pick after pick, and get a plant. But there's always the potential for damage, and Elige really is going to be the player shoved into the spotlight when we're talking about potential. As he has got that Kevlar. Get a kill, pick up a rifle. Again, that's an element of change.
Optic taking it slow. Don't want to run to any potential traps. Still not much potential for Liquid to come away with much, but even 1% potential is enough for things to potentially happen. But HS does find the head of Elige, and that's really the most dangerous player on the side of Liquid. not just in terms of actual star power, but as well as he's one of the CC. And the armor twist spotted crossing over onto the A side. Can't actually get dropped down, only down to 66. Now there you go, the spray and the Molotov does come through to finish him off. And is gonna, with the other pick on the other side of the site, is going to open up A for Optic. JDM here, still in pit. Swinging his crosshair around, trying to find something, and he almost drops Magic's boy. But Magic and Alu find the final two, and this does indeed tie it up 9-9. Liquid with enough to buy, but on the CT side, after losing the pistol and the next 2 rounds, generally don't have enough to have what's considered a full buy. Definitely don't have enough for an op in the hands of JDM. In fact, we even see 2 FAMAS's, no kits, and only 1 helmet.
Optic working up towards mid very quickly, making me think this is going to be an aggressive brute force style play, and so it shall be. HS running up through short with his teammate Magisk, who playing with him. All the flashes missing, leaving Twist in the right spot. Somehow able to stay alive. Stanislaw, the multi-kill pulled out of the bag. And HS is completely oblivious to his position. Stanislaw given 4 kills out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it was a nice nade to start at mid as well, absolutely completely countering just the full mid rush that Optic threw into play. Liquid only losing 1 player is going to give them a little bit good of a jump start in their economy, and now they're buying up the rest of the utility that they missed out. JDM sticking with the FAMAS, can't quite afford an op just yet, as we do see 1 into the hands of Alu. Not lucky to find an early pick with no op to counter themselves. Quite conservative in their current setup on A, at least. On B, they're being as aggressive as always. Like Liege is peeking out. Robert trying to pick through the smoke, actually.
Oh, what can you do?
Yeah,
what can you do right there if you're Liquid? There's a smoke between you and your opposition. Freiberg's like, you know what? Screw that. Doing it for the vlog. Sprays on through, gets himself a headshot on Nitro. Really devastating for Liquid, but puts Optic at least in good stead. Bear in mind, of course, Optic, they went for that aggressive round just straight off the bat to try and catch Liquid off guard. They thought, you know what, they're going to be doing something kind of just standard. We'll just run at them, see what we can force, just out-aim them, and just get ourselves with that quick and aggressive play on towards the site. It didn't work out because of the good nade and Stanislaw being able to do so much.
Yeah.
But this time it's slower, it's more well-conditioned from Optic, and it's led to that first kill, and also damage on towards the Liege now. A lot of map control pouring up towards long, but then they face like that. I sometimes question how that happens. Twists. Throw it out the window. Optic, you threw it all away. What have you done? Just not like this. JDM embracing the easy kill on towards Mixwell as he burns in the flames. Magic's boy trying for the 1v2, but has to go and get the bomb and deal with the fact that Elige's bottom mid. The flames at least act as a bit of a distraction and potentially might hide, but 15 seconds for him to run back to that site. It's going to be close. Twist, all you got to do is peek out right now and you can win the round single-handedly. Go to the site. The plant secured. That is going to be about it.
He got the bomb plan at least. That's more than I actually expected, seeing him in that 1v3. Liquid do keep the lead again, now with 2 points at up 11-9. And Twist saved the op as well. The resident opera on the side of JDM, which is good because money isn't great without looking on a Stanislaw. It's a little low, but they still have enough to fall by everywhere. Optic, on the other hand, it's going to be a little shaky. I'm sure they're going to be able to piece something together, but we do see a pause coming through. Did not exactly see whose it was. No, it says right in front of me. Optic. Jeez.
Yeah.
Learn to read.
I think you have to look at the 2 buys they played at, right? The first one, they went for the aggressive mid play, threw on towards short. They got hit by a dominating nade from Stan and followed up with a triple kill. So that basically shut down their entire game plan.
Yes.
In that round, they get even an entry. They get then an extra 60 damage to add to that entry kill. So they have a huge advantage in the grand scheme of things. Then something clicks in their mind that makes them think, let's work long together. I think they screw up the flash, I'm not 100% sure, but from what it looks like from the perspective of Liquid, they messed up the pop flash long. The double kill was basically clawed back straight away, and the round just spiraled out of control from there. So if you're Optic, you've got to be thinking to yourself, right, what do we change then? What do we do differently to allow neither of those things to repeat themselves? The first one's pretty damn easy. You just don't go for these rushes up mid. The second one, actually kind of much harder, because Liquid, all they did was set up a good crossfire and basically just penetrate Optic when they ran at them. For Optic, the ball's much more in their court, I feel. If they actually started throwing their flashes, hitting their flashes, playing together, being more proactive about some of the boosts and quirky positions being put in play. I say quirky as if they're uncommon, but realistically, we see players in a lot of these boosts all the time. I mean, a good highlight of a quirky position is Elige's spot, even though we see that every time now in Inferno. It's just something that you should learn to deal with. Optic, they've been weak against this sort of play. They've been allowing these elements of surprise to strike them down with double, triple kills. It's just messy.
Optic being a newly formed team, all of these players have experience playing in competitive teams for quite a while individually, but as a group of 5, they are new and can assume what we've seen previously with this Optic lineup of struggling a little bit. And so you have to imagine that it will take still a little bit of time for this team to truly come together. But as the team comes up onto B, JDM finds the first pick. They're not actually looking. Mixwell peeks out with this back turn to Elige. That's the second easy kill for Liquid to pick up. We're onto the site, and the smoke not there actually does give advantage to Optic, as HS does find Nitro, even though he is dropped down to 13. Covering up the plant. Well, hell, he comes through, but HS finds one, but Elige trades that out. Elige trying to get a second, but it's going to be Alu who drops Stanislaw, making it into a 2-on-2.
Twist. Twist is the playmaker of this round right now for Liquid. His flank is going to be completely unbeknownst to Optic. They have no idea. Magisk at least holding for it. Hits the crafty one-tap. That changes everything as Elige suddenly has to clear it out, and he can't achieve that because Magisk is crispy. The double kill locked in. Optic given a fighting chance. Did he get 11 to 11? His Liquid have no money to spend.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Elige has a lot built up in his bank, and can imagine. I'm surprised they're not leaving it up to him to buy. Oh, nope, that's because he's buying an op.
Okay. I
guess it makes sense. They got. I mean, you know, other than Elige, it looks like your standard double save, force up one round, full save the second. And so might as well just throw the op into the mix and see if that can't find anything extra either. It's interesting. And it also could.
Interesting is one way to put it.
Also could catch Optic off guard. JDM playing quite aggressive with it, already peeking up into Boiler. Right behind him is Alu. Or around the corner, I should say. While action's happening on the other side of the map. Ooh, Alu does drop JDM.
Freiburg, 1 HP. That's a gun picked up. An AWP loss, but Freiburg walking away on 1 HP isn't ideal. Twist will lose his life to Magisk, meanwhile. Creating a bit of a stir over on towards A as Optic have taken the site. They've stormed the borders. Trampled everyone. And secured a plant. Now Liquid, we have to retake what's theirs. A decision to be made on whether they want to save any of this Kevlar or these rifles. And that's a tough one, right? You have to think to yourself, right, is it worthwhile? They know in that next round that they're not going to be spending. It's that double eco, right? That second round eco is coming right up in round 23. So saving isn't a bad plan.
Yeah. Nitro was immediately on that save as well because he had a rifle in his hands. Elige wasn't too far behind. Stanislaw getting a little greedy, trying to find a couple of exits. It's noble. But this is going to be the 11th round for Optic. This map going neck and neck. And this Freiburg is going to be able to find Elige watching the wrong way. So alas, it's just going to be one rifle. Stanislaw does stay alive. Isn't able to find anything on site for him to bring into the next round, but that is still a CZ and armor on his side. But as you said, Liquid not investing anything else. Elige with the CZ of his own, but that's because Nitro tossed it over to him because he has an AK, so he doesn't need that. A little bit of spreading of what little wealth they have. Optic, on the other hand, full rifles. Alu still naturally with the op. To push up, and it is going to find the stack out. Mixwell with a headshot into Elige and drops Nitro down to 48 as well.
Mixwell taking the peek off the corner. Stanislaw gonna walk into the crosshair. Magisk nearly gets the jump on him, but HS doubling down as he burns out Twist. Boiler completely, almost forcefully taken from Liquid, leaving just Nitro 1 versus 5. Not really too much he can do here. Just gonna try and hold the B site, play in this fountain. But I think at this point you've got a minute to play with if you're Nitro, but what do you do? What is possibly running through your head, knowing 5 players are potentially coming your way, as we're about to see? Trying to see if he's gotta say if any of the DM has paid off, but kill number 1 doesn't even work out, so that's unfortunate.
You have to wonder if he was considering just saving off the bat. Now, saving against 5, and they know he has an AK. So you can imagine that they would send people out to try and take him anyway, even if they did plant on the A site. But alas, they just brought the fight straight to him. They didn't even bother with any of that song and dance. They took him out without even planting the bomb. Liquid finally can buy out, and they're on a timeout as well to figure out their game plan. Because if they lose this one, that's going to put Optic on the inside track to getting dangerously close to taking this first map. So in Liquid's eyes, this is a much-win round. And they still have 4 timeouts, so might as well use them. Not a very full buy once again from Liquid, however. Still no op on JDM. I say still, they've had an op before, but once again, as we saw, no op, sticking with the FAMAS. No kits, no helmets. It's going to be quite a dangerous round for them to win. Three people onto B, naturally. Throw those nades out before the third of them backs off. It's the usual plan.
From Liquid, they just want to see if they could take some deep control. That's why they put 3 players towards it this time around, but the Molly completely denies that, and that's perfectly played by Optic. Basically means that the third player now towards B can't do anything at all, and basically sent to Speedway and told, buddy, you know what, just rotate back to A. You're done here. There is going to be no aggression. We're back on the site. Surprisingly from Optic, it's almost like they know that should be the case, but they're still going to try and hit towards A anyway. I mean, you can see them really pressuring an apps, pressuring towards mid, but they haven't committed to anything just yet. So that makes me think they're not 100% sure. But they've got so much time to work with, they don't really need to be.
Yeah. Still a minute left on the clock. Bodies do give a hint to us that they're going to be going on to A, but now they are branching back. And yes, right as we say that, bomb being oh my god, tongue twisters. Bomb being brought back down mid. Ooh, Magic Boy peeks straight into Stanislaw. Stanislaw can't correct his aim. That's the first pick going the way of Optic. Split 2-on-2 on either site. JDM going ahead of the smoke, trying to take that pick. HS makes his way behind that corner. Now he has to retreat all the way back into spawn.
Those steps from Mixwell going to be heard by Nitro and potentially even the lead as they listen out for anything that's going on. Meanwhile, Ace like swamped under pressure from Optic. JDM and HS both butting heads. Lee's still rotating on over and kind of got it there sooner rather than later, buddy. The rest of your team are falling. Finally in position, Alec going to be tapped on down in pit. A crispy shot for Alish to find. Nullifying the AWP most importantly, but still more to be done. Alish flash is thrown. It's a good flash as well. Gets up on top of the box, but he will be crushed. Freiburg slaughtering him. Mixwell taking down Nitro. Optic 13-11.
Yeah, Twist even getting that first kill when he was surrounded by those 3 Optic members was probably more than I even guessed of him, and it almost gave Liquid a fighting chance, but alas, the crossfire setup at the end there. Easy spray down from Optic on the final 2 remaining members of Liquid, and that's going to be Optic up 13-11, and Liquid back down on another save. But a lot of damage right off the bat, easily taken advantage of by Alish. Twist getting a second. Alu does answer back with push down, gets a second. Tries to re-peek for a third. It's all tied up 3-3, and the bomb dropped also on the other side of the smoke. So, interestingly enough, Liquid do actually have good map control. Optic have the firepower to reclaim it. But it's still a good start for Liquid, even with their lower firepower. Instead, they are just going to back off. Going to give some of the map control back to Optic. Except, of course, Twist pushing all the way up through T-Apps does quietly pass HS. Wonder if he's going to look out the side and spot him. Doesn't peek enough HS around that corner. Bomb still has yet to be reclaimed. And look at Twist finding Alu. Almost misses it at first, but does recorrect and keep the man advantage back in the favor of Liquid. Like, what do you do as Optic in this situation? Down to man, you don't really know where a lot of players are.
Yeah, you have nothing to work with, right? So that's your biggest problem. HS has got to be careful because of we know the position of Twist. Bear in mind, who I say that Twist walks right up behind him. But I mean, that's why it's so hard. Optic really have not a single piece of ground to work with. Now you see Magic's almost being engaged by the flank from behind, forced into a dodgy engagement. I mean, the round basically crumbles around them. So this would be a smart time if you're Optic to potentially go for that timeout.
Yep. Right on cue as well. Twist ending that round with a 4K2. Just kind of being a shadow in the night. a ninja of sorts. Popping them off one by one.
Biggest thing for them now, though, is, right, you've got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's go into this with one mentality. Let's not look like Lost Lamb going forward. Towards the end of that round, they had nothing to work with. That's fair enough, but now they need a different approach. If they keep on giving Liquid a bit of room to work with, then they're going to try and repeat that 25th round. But you have to remember, the 25th round is the only one they picked up in the last 5 rounds of Counter-Strike.
Yes.
If that plays out the same way, Optic still end this game with a victory. So it's a bit of a coin flip, really, depending on what Liquid want to bring into the round, whether they go for more of the same. Optic prepared against that. I mean, for Optic, I definitely think you make a few subtle differences for sure. I don't think you just try and run the previous rounds, because Liquid have finally worked out how to crack that. I mean, JDM, that's a very aggressive peak. Magisboy could actually deal with him here, but looks like he's fallen back and thrown a defensive frag grenade just to slow Magis down when it advances. Because Liquid, most notably, they're not touching Deep Banana at all. They tried it one round, didn't really work out for them, so they're just back on the corners a beat.
Optic sending the feelers out, trying to see if they can get some poke damage onto Liquid. But the bomb is being carried up and in. It's still a minute 13 left, and so they could still go anywhere. As I say, Alu does drop it. That would not commit it too heavily towards one side or the other. Nitro now being the one to get boosted up on the flower pots. See if it gets checked this time around. Pressure put on A to try and slow down a potential rotate, but now the push is coming in on to B. Leech in the middle of the field, he's gonna peek out, gets one spray down, almost gets a second. But now it's all up to Nitro, not checked, gets 2 before he finally falls. And though Optic do have the sight, it is man advantage for Liquid. Only Stanislaw here, though, to try and stop the plan, and he's not going to be there in time to do even that.
Stanislaw now holding, waiting for some sort of peek Alu. A flash thrown, allowing him to work into the smoke somewhat. That all can be so pivotal in finding that first pick right now. Liquid in a really good state, if I'm honest. They have another flash to work with his belt, and a smoke and a molly. So Alu basically could be cut down by a molly alone. Wish tries to bait him out. A lot of time being spent by Liquid, and that's a flaw in this retake. Because the molly is going to be thrown. They tried to shoulder peek Alu, which just never works. JDM at least giving a return frag. HS spinning him around, gets close to Stanislaw, but it's not going to be enough within the nick of time. Liquid, stay alive.
Ooh, just barely. Looked a little close at the end there. Yes, indeed. All tied up. 13-13 now. Liquid do stop the worst from happening, which is the full reset on economy, full reset on equipment. Able to stay alive. Stanislaw's the only one to survive, so it does put a little bit of pressure on them. But it could be a lot worse. Optic still able to buy up. Alu still able to have that op that he covets so much.
Funny thing is I echo a statement, much like a lot of people are probably echoing right now, which is, if your HS there, does crouching save your life? It's an interesting question. But Alu, you know what? And interrupt us, buddy. Do your thing. Opening up the round on towards short with a pick to JDM. Through the smoke just as it blooms. Twist, meanwhile, under pressure in pit. This is going to be a struggle. Manages to pull at least a frag out of the bag, but there's so much to do. Where are you looking, Mixwell? Freiburg at least able to punish him, but Elige at this point is in position to kill for his teammate. Gets himself a double of his own. Can't help but feel like the communication of Optic there was very rough around the edges. Problem is now is look at their money.
Yeah.
That's just handed Liquid such a crucial turning point in the game.
And look, we even see another timeout. I'm assuming this one's going to be for Optic. Drum roll, please. Nope, too late. Timeout was not passed in time, I suppose. And so Optic are going to have to play this one. Ouch, nonetheless. Freiburg with the good system. And yes, with the Deagles, a lot of them, so if you can get some good headshots, you can deal damage to Liquid, and maybe even take this round back and keep themselves from having to play into overtime. But by all means, it's going to be looking like they're going to have to do that. Freiburg peeks out, deals good damage to JDM, forces him back. That's still not too much for Optic to work with. Nades do come streaming in. Out from Liquid. HS from behind, trying to find something to smoke. Don't find much, and Freiburg caught reloading as running in through arches is going to be an easy kill for Elige to pick up. That corrals Optic still back at mid. Elige gets a second. Doesn't want to commit too heavily. and give their advantage away. But a 5-on-3, make that a 5-on-2. Thank you very much, Stanislaw.
It all goes downhill from here. It really does. Liquid up to 15. The first map point of this series. Liquid trying to find a crack in the green wall. Something they break brick by brick. For Optic, and it comes down to this. 5 AK-47s. All the utility in the world you could possibly want. Flashes, smokes, mollies, you name it, they've got it. A few frag grenades here and there as well on Mixwell and Magisk, but that's so pointless in the grand scheme of things. What counts is really going to be the play from Optic. They've stumbled around in a few of these buys, a few crucial clutches that have gone the wrong direction. Mixwell, it's good for one, but the trade from Nitro sets it apart.
Question is it worth it? It's often stated that a 1-point trade does favor the terrorists, because it does spread out CT side a little more thin. Question is going to have to use that to their own advantage. Wonder exactly what JDM can hear from this position. Stuff being thrown at JDM does catch HS looking the wrong way. And a counter molly as well to stop any sort of trade, any sort of push coming out from mid.
That's tough. If you're HS, you throw a smoke on long and then you peek out looking long almost. It's a tough situation, but it is what it is. Stanislaw now spraying rapidly through a smoke, throwing a frag grenade at the feet of Alu, doing about 20 HP, I think. Even with that said, he gets to push the smoke and no one is there to expect it. Magisk Boy completely caught off guard. Freiburg as well, just having to flick away now, trying to save the round. A headshot flick to Stanislaw. He will do a good shot at Alu, waiting for Twist, lets him wander on by. A 2-for-2, JDM under pressure, Alu making it doable. Nitro forcing the 1v1. Freiburg has 16 HP. He's on the back of the site. The peak comes in and Nitro will finish it. 16-13 is the scoreline of map number 1. Liquid, has to be said, very well played to them. 5 rounds back-to-back in a row they were to claw back on their CT side, interrupting the streak of Optic, who, for a second, for a moment, at round 21, they seemed back in the game. But then it all went downhill. Round 25 started and Liquid, they proved they were here to play.
Absolutely, just in the nick of time, saving themselves from defeat on their own map pick.